Hello everyone, this story is called Sporty Sandwich. Hope you like it. Here we go. It was a beautiful day in Foodland. The sun was shining and everybody was feeling good. It was also a school day and Mr. Mash was teaching his absolutely enormous class. Good morning class, he smiled. Today I want you all to prepare a presentation about your favourite sport. The Foodland Olympics are just around the corner and to celebrate them, the school is going to ask every student to talk about their favourites, he said. The class was excited, but not everyone was smiling. Sir, what's wrong with Sandwich? Asked Sausage. He looks really sad. Sandwich was sitting at the back of the classroom, looking rather upset. Are you okay, Sandwich? Asked Mr. Mash, who was looking very concerned. Sandwich held his head in his hands and ran out of the classroom. Mr. Mash asked his class to begin the presentation preparation before going to find Sandwich. He found him sitting on a chair in the library. I'm so sorry, sir, said Sandwich. Can I help? Replied Mr. Mash kindly. He never liked seeing any of his students upset. No, I don't think so. I feel very lost, sir. I understand, Sandwich. I think we need to talk to Dr. Pepper at the Salt Shaker Surgery. Maybe he can help. Okay, sir, agreed Sandwich. Good, replied Mr. Mash. We will make an appointment with him. Hopefully, we can make you start feeling like yourself again. The next day, Mr. Mash took Sandwich to see Dr. Pepper. Hello, Sandwich. How can I help? What seems to be the matter? Sandwich was feeling a bit embarrassed. It's okay, Sandwich, smiled Dr. Pepper. Take your time. Whatever you say in this room stays in this room. Soon, Sandwich felt confident enough to tell Dr. Pepper how he was feeling. I feel lost, Doc. I feel embarrassed too. I see, pondered Dr. Pepper. Do you know why you're feeling this way? He asked nicely. It's just, I'm not very sporty. We've got to do a presentation at school about your favourite sports, but I don't have one. I don't know what sport I like, and that's why I feel lost. Both Dr. Pepper and Mr. Mash smiled. Now they both understood why Sandwich was feeling low. I have an idea, said Dr. Pepper. I'm going to prescribe you something. I want you to try and play some sport. Any sport you like. Try as many sports as possible until you find one you enjoy. Sandwich raised a small smile. Okay, Doc, he said. I'll try. Good, replied Dr. Pepper. I will speak to you again in 2 weeks' time to check in on you and see how you are feeling. Back at school, Mr. Mash suggested that Sandwich ask some of his friends to help him. So he asked Sausage and Egg. His friends took him to the park. Right, Sandwich, said Sausage. We are going to play some sport. They began with football, but whenever Sandwich tried to kick the ball, he fell over. Maybe football isn't for you, said Sausage. Let's try tennis. But when Sandwich played on the court, he couldn't hit the ball over the net. Just then, more of his friends arrived at the park. Let's have a game of rugby, said Egg. Spud had brought his ball with him. Sandwich tried to play rugby, but he kept throwing the ball forwards rather than backwards. These rules are silly, he said frustratingly. Next, he tried basketball on the hard court with Beans, but Sandwich couldn't throw the ball into the hoop. Bother, he sighed. Don't give up, said Beans. Why don't you try something different that doesn't involve a ball? Good idea, said Sandwich. So he tried boxing, gymnastics and diving. At the boxing, Sandwich was knocked out in the first round. After 3 seconds. Splat. Poor Sandwich. Boxing wasn't the sport for him. At the gymnastics arena, Sandwich tried to do a somersault and couldn't stop himself. He somersaulted himself out of the window. Oops. At the diving pool, Sandwich climbed up the highest diving board, but he couldn't bring himself to dive it off it. Panic set in. He looked at the water below. The fear of heights took over. Sandwich was stuck on the spot. Oh dear, diving wasn't the best sport for him either. Sandwich felt sad. He went to the classroom to find Mr. Mash. I'm sorry, sir. I've tried so many different sports, but I'm not good at any of them. Don't worry, smiled Mr. Mash kindly. We will find the right sport for you. Mr. Mash pondered and looked out of his classroom window. He could see something out on the school sports field. Aha! I've got it, he shouted. Come with me, Sandwich, he said. Mr. Mash showed him the athletics track. Have you tried track and field? He asked. What's that? Running, replied Mr. Mash. Just then, Carrot ran up to the track. Hello, Sandwich. Fancy a run? He asked. Carrot liked running. He ran everywhere. So Sandwich started to run, just as a bee was following him. Uh-oh! Get away from me! Get away from me! He shouted. Sandwich started to pick up speed and sprinted down the track to escape the bee. Then he went round the track, again and again. Sandwich found himself feeling happier as he ran. The more he ran, the happier he became. As for the bee, it gave up after 5 laps and went home to its hive. Ha ha! Meanwhile, Mr. Mash was watching on from the side of the track. I think Sandwich has found his sport, Mr. Mash thought to himself, and went home feeling rather pleased. As for Sandwich, he kept on running until the sun went down. Then he ran home. I know, he said. I'll go for a longer run tomorrow. And to find out what happens next, you'll have to wait until the next story. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again next time.